Hello everybody, welcome to Full Force. As you can see, there is a wonderful new set on Magic Online, Modern Masters 2017. So I'm definitely excited to try this out. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping the format looks pretty good. I've heard good things about it. I want to today do a white-blue bounce deck. So probably white-blue, maybe splashing a little bit of black. We want to get like Dinrova Horror. You're trying to get like Deadeye Navigator would kind of be perfect. So we're looking at like Deadeye Navigator. Lone Missionary might be okay to bounce. Augur of Bolas, same kind of thing. But we want to be able to just constantly chain together things like that. There's like Vanish into Memory and Momentary Blink and all kinds of cool little combat tricks and ways to flicker things. So I want to do that. I'm going to take a Zoria Signet here because it's just nice to have a little bit of ramp, fixes some of our mana, and there's nothing that seems particularly awesome in those colors yet, so I'm just going to take the Azoria Signet. But Blink decks are really, that's my forte. I love the style, so I'm really excited to try this. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. I don't remember this. Okay, that's really cool, and actually seems kind of great for the deck that we're playing. That being said, there is also Dinrova Horror, which this is a card that we really want a lot of. Seagate Oracle works too. Some good ones. Really tempted to do this. It's super random is the problem. Because if you don't hit it, then it's an issue. And I mean, you can also just miss by getting just kind of a bad creature. It's very interesting. I'm thinking that this card isn't that good, but we are playing Full Force, so let's test it out. I want to see how much we can go into this. Sure. Let's use Aethermaid's Touch. Probably a bad idea. It's a powerful effect. You can ambush people with it, but you'd also have to know that there's something good on top of your library to do it reliably, which is a problem. But we'll see what happens with it. This is a cool pack. Unflinching Courage is pretty disgusting. Centaur Healer is kind of fun, but hey, Dinrova Horror, that's what we were looking for. Wouldn't mind Gift of Orzhova. Flying and Lifelink are two very powerful things. But yeah, obviously Dinrova Horror, we just want to be able to bounce things. And I mean, Aethermaid's Touch and Dinrova Horror does seem like an absolute beating. I'm pretty happy if we get to do that. Alright. What else are we looking for? I'd really like to get a Seagate Oracle, because I think that kind of smooth out a lot of our draws. Ghostly Flicker. That's a nice one. Core Hookmaster is a good card for us to have kind of flicker in and out of the battlefield, because we can keep things tapped, buy ourselves a lot of time. Ghostly Flicker triggers things twice, which is pretty awesome. Deputy of Acquittals returns something else back to our hand. So that's kind of cool. Sensor Splicer makes a 3/3. Something that's neat to flicker back and forth. Not going to need Temporal Mastery. This is a Phantom draft because I didn't want to have to worry about having to rare draft a really expensive card since we're doing Full Force videos. And actually the expected value, quote unquote, so how much you can expect to make back if you're winning, is slightly better in these unless you 3-0. I might take Ghostly Flicker here. I could be wrong. I might want to start actually getting creatures to flicker. That is the problem that we're facing right now, is we don't really have anything to flicker besides the Dinrova Horror. I'm going to need more things to flicker in and out. Sin Collector is kind of cool. Not a bad one to do it with. Not amazing, but not bad. I'm going to take Sin Collector. The other options that we have are like Pilfered Plans, I guess, does something, kind of. Youthful Knight seems fine, just as an early blocker, but I think I'd rather take Sin Collector. I should be able to find Youthful Knight fairly late. Sin Collector as an uncommon is going to be tougher. I like the idea of Pit Keeper. So this is a Grave Keeper once you get 4 or more creatures in your graveyard. So once there's a bunch of things in your graveyard, you can just start drawing them back into your hand with Pit Keepers. It's something that we can use, like I said, Flicker, Mage's Touch type stuff with. Crippling Chill is fine. Again, just slows things down. Unburial Rites is certainly tempting. If I end up with something really big that I want to bring back, Unburial Rites can be fine, but I think I'd rather have the Pit Keeper. Actually, Aether Mage Touch works with that too, because the rest of them... Oh no, it goes on the bottom of your library. Sorry, I misread that. For a second, I thought that I actually went into your graveyard, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong, because that would be real cool. The Azorius Guildgate's good fixing, and I would like some more. I'm sad that we didn't see more after that first pack, because we had 3 pieces. We had the Orzhov Guildgate, Azorius Guildgate, and the Signet. Core Skyfisher is fine. Gets us to reuse some of these things. It's kind of slow, though. I don't mind just taking fixing here. Wake the Reflections. Another Pit Keeper. Centaur Healer could actually be something that we flicker back and forth, too. But I'll need a lot of fixing for that, and I think I just take Pit Keeper. I'm happy enough with taking Pit Keeper that I think that's fine. Simic Guildgate, Lone Missionary. Lone Missionary does gain us life back, so it's kind of like the Centaur Healer. I'm wondering, though, I mean, there is, like, Sylvan Ranger, there is Centaur Healer, there's a few things like that we can get value off of flickering in green. And there's fixing, too, because, I mean, if we get Sylvan Ranger, then we can play more colors. Might just want Simic Guildgate. I feel like Lone Missionary is going to be easy to pick up, is part of the reasoning. Boros Guildgate. Tandem Lookout. Tandem Lookout can be okay. Certainly not amazing. Bone Splinters is fine. I probably need removal. And I do have, like, Pit Keepers that I don't mind throwing away creatures for, because I can then rebuy other creatures. Sell Bone Splinters. Tandem Lookout, Youthful Knight. Unflinching Courage. That's a late Unflinching Courage. It is an enchantment, so, and there's a pretty big downside to having one. But it's a powerful enchantment. Tandem Lookout or Youthful Knight. I mean, I like the idea of Tandem Lookout. Sure. Let's try it. Sensor Splicer I can bounce back and forth, so that's pretty cool. Golgari Guildgate, more reason to actually have a green splash. Sundering Growth could be okay. A few artifacts and enchantments that you probably want to kill. But I don't mind waiting a little while to get it. Oh, Arachnus Web. If I really have to, and I don't have enough removal, possibly play it off of a splash. Yeah, we didn't wheel a lot of the cards that we wanted to flicker in and out, so that's a little scary. We've got a Dimir Guildgate. And, like, Seaside Citadel, Arcane Sanctum. I mean, Pit Keeper I can flicker again, but I already have 2. I really don't want a whole lot of them. They're not amazing, it's just something that I can flicker. This pack is pretty weak for us. Tri-Line's probably the best thing to do. Arcane Sanctum makes the most sense. Don't really have a reason to be green yet, and I have some green fixing. I don't have a whole lot of black fixing. Take the Sanctum. We're gonna need something pretty good. Ancient of Masks is kind of fun. Slowly drains your opponent. Mist Meadow Witch constantly flickers things, so that might be fine. It's a really slow way to do it, but it does do it. I think Mist Meadow. You can also use it to stop your opponent from attacking. Like, it's a very expensive way to tap a creature, essentially. But every once in a while, you have a lot of mana, and you just need to stop your opponent, and it'll do that. So I think Mist Meadow Witch is the way to go. Another Dinrova Horror. There's also Sphinx's Revelation, Talon Trooper, another Ghostly Flicker, but I don't think I want a second Ghostly Flicker. I'd rather take, like, Dinrova. Arachnus Spinner is cool, because we actually have the Arachnus Web, so that's kind of fun. I'm not gonna... I don't think I can do that. I don't know, though. I mean, kind of cool. I do have some reason to be green, because I have the fixing. I don't think our fixing's that good. This is a sweet card. This used to be a rare. I'm pretty sure it's just Dinrova Horror. Sphinx's Revelation's really slow. I need more things to flicker. Hopefully wheel the Ghostly Flicker and just take the Dinrova Horror. A lot of this video is going to be me figuring out this format, because It's an intricate format. There's a lot of things going on. It's got a lot of moving pieces. And trying to decide what to take when is tough. I'm not sure whether like taking creatures first or taking these spells first is the right way to go. I took spells first in that first pack, right? I took Ghostly Flicker, I took Aether Mage's Touch, because I thought we would see more creatures and then the spells would be what be powering those creatures up. But I'm starting to wonder if that might not be the best idea. Vanish into Memory can be fun. Does actually work with Pit Keeper too, because that'll get a bunch of creatures into our graveyard, so that's pretty reasonable. Momentary Blink is nice. I feel like Blink is better than Vanish. It's cheaper, you can use it twice. Sure, you're not drawing cards for it, but most of the time, like, the creatures that we're going to be flickering for, like, a Vanish into Memory have the same power and toughness, so I'm not really going up cards. Maybe Sin Collector, but then I'm drawing 2. Not super useful. Draw 2, discard 1. I mean, it can be fine, but I don't think the Vanish into Memory is bad. It's just it's a close pick between that and Momentary Blink. I think Blink's quite a bit better. I don't have a lot of experience to judge that off of because, of course, this is my first draft, but cheaper cards tend to be better. And this is a cheaper card that can be used twice. I'm looking at this Azorius Guildgate versus Ghostly Flicker. Another Flicker would be fine, but I already have Flicker, Touch, Miss Meadow Witch. I want Fixing. I think I take the Fixing. Of course, Skyfisher. Shimmering Grotto is more Fixing. Could take Agony Warp as possible removal. I do like Agony Warp a fair bit. I think that's a okay card for us to take. We only have Bone Splinters right now. I'm probably going to need a little bit more removal than that. Of course, Skyfisher again is probably fine, but not exciting. So we've got Agony Warp, Attended Knight. It isn't coming to playability, although Seagate Oracle is much better, and I'm glad that we got it. Drawing extra cards off of like a Ghostly Flicker or something is pretty cool. If we can Ghostly Flicker like Pit Keeper and Seagate, draw a card out of our graveyard, draw a card out of our deck, like that just kind of chains together really nicely. It's just a ton of value. And this is a good way to block early game. Another Crippling Chill. Wake the Reflections is not useful. Cower in Fear probably doesn't do all that much. Corpse Connoisseur is interesting anyways. Put cards into my graveyard. I'll take it. I don't think that I want another Crippling Chill, so I'm interested in taking this. Yeah, maybe I don't use the ability about, like, putting a bunch of creatures in my graveyard a whole lot, but it does have possible upsides for us because we have things like Pit Keeper. Put something into my graveyard, play a Pit Keeper, get it back, so, like, I can just dump a Dinrova Horror in, Pit Keeper it back to my hand. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's certainly reasonable. I'll take the Eyes in the Skies. It'll pair with Tandem Lookout at least. It's not great. It does populate with Sensor Splicer, so that's something. Agent of Masks. Why not? Not exciting, but it's fine. Talon Trooper versus Gideon's Lawkeeper. You know, I should probably take the Gideon's Lawkeeper. Tappers are pretty nice. I definitely like Tappers. Ooh, Vanish into Memory. So that's a good sign that nobody else is going too deep into our deck if we're getting Vanish into Memory this late. Take the Sundering Growth. And Jailbreaker, fine. I do have some Guild Gates. I could possibly play it. Be a reason to even play a Golgari or a Simic Guildgate if I really wanted to. Not an exciting idea, but if I absolutely have to have something that's a bit of a big beater, I can put in a Jailbreaker even out of the sideboard. It is big and beefy and fairly early. So Deadeye Navigator is probably the number one card that we're looking for, because that card's insane. Yeah, and here, if it was an actual draft that wasn't a Phantom, I'd probably be taking Arid Mesa, because that card's probably worth a couple bucks. Seagate Oracle's sweet, though. Another momentary blink, but I have Flicker, I have Blink, I have Touch, I have Vanish. This point, I miss Meadow Witch. I think that I just need the creatures with come into play abilities. And Seagate Oracle seems like one of the best kind of enablers for this whole deck. It does a lot of work. I'm just going to take it. Smoothing out your draws is a big deal. I'm going to try not to play Tandem Lookout. Orza, Obsidat, Mistraven, Seal of Doom. Destroy target non-black creature is very good. Whoa, wow. Obsidat. Can I play Obsidat? Double black. I have Arcane Sanctum, 2 Guild Gates, an Azoria Signet. I don't have a lot of black fixing. I mean, I really want to play Obsidat. Mistraven's sweet, too. If there wasn't a Mistraven here, I think it's a slam Obsidat. Maybe Seal Doom. But, like, the mana on this is tough. Is the only problem. That's the real issue with Obsidat here. It is a bomb, though. Mistraven's very good if we're trying to just, you know, Ghostly Flicker, Blink, Touch, Vanish. Obsidat does similar things as well, because whenever it comes into play, they lose life, you gain life. So if they try and kill it, you can Flicker it, which is nice. I think I just take the Obsidat. It's just so powerful. Savage Lands is not any colors that we need. Soul Manipulation is fine. I mean, I can counter and get back good creatures out of my graveyard. Rootborn Defenses was a really, really good card back in Ravnica drafts. When Return to Ravnica block was out, Rootborn Defenses was surprisingly awesome. Just made your whole team unable to be killed, and there was a lot of tokens running around, so you generally would get something out of it, even if it was just a 1/1. And that's surprisingly good. I like the manipulation, though. Master Splicer. That does work for us. Oh, it sucks that it has to be in the same pack as Orzhov Guildgate, because I would really like a Guildgate for this Obsidat. I'm definitely not playing green. I want this Master Splicer. Definitely want Master Splicer. I want to play Agent of Masks or that thing. I really want this Master Splicer. Just feels like a really good way to use all of our blink effects. I wouldn't mind another Ghostly Flicker either. I thought that I might wheel one of them from that last pack, but I didn't. Alright. Splicer. Sunhome Guildmage is cool, but not in our colors. I'll just take a Youthful Knight, I suppose. At least it'll be good for like an aggro deck matchup. If we're facing somebody who's a lot faster than us, then I can side in a Youthful Knight. It's a pretty solid card in that style. Well, it's not exactly a Flicker effect. But Mist Meadow Witch does seem pretty decent. Again, slow, but good. Core Hookmaster, that'll slow the game down. It's funny to see Blood Moons go in so late because it's a Phantom. Nobody wants to take money cards. Crippling Chill out, maybe. I could take Crippling Chill out. Probably Eyes in the Skies. Play the Hookmaster. Another Hookmaster, Mystical Teachings. Teachings can fetch, like, Blink, Touch, Vanish. I want a lot of creatures for this Vanish into memory. Or, not Vanish, sorry, for Aether Mage's Touch. Mixed up my cards. Very similar mana costs, so I wasn't really thinking. I'm not sure what set this is from. Weird card. I'm gonna take the Hookmaster. Ooh, Blink came back around. That's perfect. Teleportal is a bomb. If you don't know, if there's a way to splash this, it seems really good. Playing it back in, again, Return to Ravnica draft, Teleportal, it's basically like an overrun. All of your creatures are unblockable, get +1/+0. You almost always play it for 5, and when you play it for 5, it almost always wins you the game. So, not a card to overlook. Let's take the Blink, though. Boros Guildgate, Talon Trooper, in case I need something against flyers. Root-borne defenses is reasonable. I do have 2 splicers. I'll probably take out Crippling Chill. I know that seems weird. And maybe Soul Manipulation. I just want to have a lot of creatures if I'm going to play this Aether Mage's Touch. Another Hookmaster. And a Lone Missionary. I'm not excited about either of these. Sure, I'll split it up and take a Lone Missionary. Just in case I want more 2s out of the sideboard. So the question for me now is... Sure, Sundering Growth. I'm honestly wondering if I want to play like a Tandem Lookout. Tandem Lookout could be interesting. The reason being, if I've got a bunch of Hookmasters to tap things, getting through those extra draws is pretty important. The 2 Seagates are going to do a lot of work here for us. We need them to do some heavy lifting to smooth out our draws. Another couple pieces of fixing would have been perfect. Don't have a lot of removal. We're relying on a ton of tempo off of Hookmasters, which is I almost feel like just capitalizing on that and trying to play like a Tandem Lookout. Card's not great, but if we are tapping our opponent's creatures with this and that's the game plan, then maybe we should go with the game plan and play the Tandem Lookout. How often are they going to have instants and sorceries? In this set, a lot more often than most. Other question is how often am I going to have the black mana? But I am trying to play Pit Keepers as well, and Agony Warp. Interesting choices. I could just leave the deck like this. The doubled Inrova Horror is nice. I'm glad that we have 2 of those. I don't know that I'd want 3. Not unless I had more Signets to ramp up to them. They are expensive. I think I leave this. I'm going to leave it like this and we'll test it out. I can definitely see siding out Sin Collector for like a Tandem Lookout or Lone Missionary or Crippling Chill or just something like that. Maybe Talon Trooper or Soul Manipulation. It really depends on what my opponent has that they're good at. If it's like a super, super slow grindy game, then maybe I even want like Agent of Masks. Pretty unlikely, but always possible. If they have like some bomb creature, then I might want Soul Manipulation. Just that kind of stuff. We'll see what happens. And I am going to add all of our lands together. 5, 6 black sources. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9, 8, 6. Pit Keeper can try and go down a little bit later. Agony Warp needs to be fairly early. Sin Collector needs to be fairly early. Dinarova Horrors can be late. Bone Splinters can be late. Obsidat can be quite late. I think this is the best that I'm going to get. Yeah, this looks okay. We need a little bit more white than blue because of the Gideon's Lawkeeper and Obsidat, so having extra planes over the island definitely makes sense. And all of our early plays are white, like Miss Meadow Witches, Gideon's Lawkeeper. Only need blue on turn 3, really. Alright. Not super excited about this deck, but it seems decent. We'll see what happens. I have no idea what to expect out of this because I haven't really played these kinds of decks before. Not in this format. This is the brand new format for me, so this should be a lot of fun. I think that Seagate Oracle is going to really shine if we're winning. Like, if we're winning, I think that a lot of it is going to be because of Seagate Oracle. It just is going to smooth out so many of our draws. I really wish I had another Ghostly Flicker. I'm kind of sad that I didn't pick up another one of those. It might have just been a thing that I needed to do. Ghostly Flickering out gets a ton of value when you have like Seagates. Drawing you know, looking at 4 cards, drawing 2. You can also block 2 creatures from your opponent and then do it, so you're saving a ton of life. All kinds of stuff like that you can do with it that I think Ghostly Flicker was probably something I should have prioritized a little bit more. I really did think that one of those would come back around. It didn't seem like people were in this deck, but I obviously could be wrong. Alright, I'm going to save, and I'll see you all for round 1. Alright, that's good. And hope that our opponent has a lot of blanks from now on, because I'm not doing great.